And liftoff.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Yomo is the Name of a Hero Pickups Podcast, episode 18. We only got 2 weeks left in the NFL season. The curse is finally broken. I had a good enough week to finally catch Asian in record, as we're both 148 and 90. I got 1269, Asian's got 1255, Mook with a 1215 and a 144.94 record, and Raccoon with 1142 and a 131.107 record.
This
What did you say, Mook?
This was a tough week for me.
It was a good week. I missed on my underdog pick and I missed on Detroit. Everything else hit.
You know, somewhere along the lines, I think I fucked up labeling the episodes. But you know what? We'll live with it.
It's all good. If I said the intro wrong, I apologize.
I don't know which one it is, but we'll just say it's one of them.
I know we missed a few. I know a few didn't go to YouTube because of your memory problems at the time.
Luckily, it's not it's not an issue at the moment now.
Oh, show. But yeah, interesting slate of games last week. Yo.
Yeah,
I was super proud of calling Green Bay, and switching to Houston was very smart.
Houston, let's go!
Some bad trains.
And Mook's face watching the Raiders blow that lead with 45 seconds left.
Let's go! Raiders blowing leads!
He goes, You're not about to do me like this again, Raiders. I was like, oh yes they are.
Same old Raiders, baby.
There were 3 picks I shouldn't have taken. Shouldn't have taken the Raiders. You know, I wanted to be interesting. You know,
that was interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say this. And they bench Derek Carr, but you lead the first drive, go 70 yards, go up 7-0, and then do literally nothing the rest of the game. I watched that game, and I like Kenny Pickett, but that game was such a boring watch.
Yeah, I mean
neither team. Like, Pittsburgh would go down, do something, miss a field goal. Oakland would get the ball for 4 plays, punt it, repeat the cycle. Until the last drive where they finally got in the end zone.
I also should not have taken Tennessee. You know, that was a bad call. I didn't have a good feeling about it, and I went with Tennessee anyways because of the Derrick Henry.
Well, you're taking Tennessee this week, right?
No.
Why not?
Like I said, I think Malik Willis could be the guy. I think he needs a few games. I don't think it'll be this year, so. And the Texans low-key not been playing bad ball.
Derrick Henry is also not going to be playing this week, so.
And then the last...
Wait, did you say Derrick Henry?
Nope, no Derrick Henry, because it doesn't matter if they win or lose to affect their chances, I believe, or something like that, and Derrick Henry...
No, I believe if they lose and Jacksonville wins, that game next week don't matter. I could be wrong on that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So I think they're just sitting Derrick Henry rather than trying to injure him or getting him injured.
I'm saying if the Jags are 8-8 and the Titans are 7-9, I think Jacksonville auto gets the spot out of tiebreaker. I don't think that game matters anymore if Jacksonville beats Houston and Dallas beats Tennessee. I could be wrong on that, but I think that's how it works.
But either way, yeah,
can
he's
I say,
sitting this week.
Arizona crushed my dreams.
I tried to warn you.
You know, you did, and I should have known, but there's still hope. There's still hope that,
Yeah? Do you think there's hope in that locker room?
If the Saints beat the Eagles, which I don't expect to happen, and we beat Carolina next week, and Carolina beats Tampa, and then Atlanta beats Tampa, New Orleans can take the 4 seed, have Dallas come to our home, and we can end their season, and I would be completely happy.
What kind of convoluted bullshit is that?
Well, that's the only way that New Orleans can win the division. We have to win out. Carolina has to beat Tampa, and then Tampa has to lose to Atlanta also.
Yeah,
Sadly, I think, New Orleans beating Philly would be a miracle. But the other miracle would be Atlanta actually doing something, so.
I mean, it's not that big of a miracle against Arizona.
Yeah, I'm not ready to talk about that game, dude. I flip-flopped on it a lot. But
Before we start, can I tell you how absolutely soiled I am that the two people in the fucking fantasy championship are the two teams that fucking auto-drafted in our league.
yeah.
And one of them barely even paid attention to his team. He had like 3 tight ends playing at one point.
Yeah.
I mean, the power of Saquon and Eckler.
The power of not getting injured.
I'm absolutely soiled, dude. Like, if that's
I'll
saying that fantasy is 60% luck, 40% skill, I don't know what will.
say this. You know how soiled I am? I lost in round 1 still.
Oh my god.
It's been a fun year for all of us.
I had such a good season.
Collectively, as a group, me, Kuhn, Mook, and Kai, we probably put in over like 100 hours worth of listening to like podcasts or looking up, rankings, things like that. And Gerbo doesn't do a single goddamn thing. Auto drafts his team and makes it to the championship.
And I'll say this, Mook. In Mook's case, he got knocked out of the money league, so now the championship's his only focus.
Mook, you better win this. And you better pick up Ryan Fitzpatrick if you haven't already. Because he needs to be on a championship winning team.
I mean, let me just say, I just imagine Mook's doing this number, praying that Lamar comes back this week. I feel like he's going to need some firepower to stand up to Mahomie.
And I do need to pick up Fitz.
Yeah, you do. That needed to happen.
Because if you win, I need to see Fitzmagic on a championship team.
Are you feeling good about your team going into this, Mook?
No.
Mook,
Did he also make it to the Dynasty League Championship, or no? Did he get knocked out?
I'm still in.
Yeah, so he's in championship weeks in both leagues.
And Germo has Austin Eckler.
Eckler's playing Aaron Donald. Do it that what you will.
I mean, it's Austin Eckler.
I mean, he hadn't had many yards, but he's been getting TDs, which is a lot more important.
He saved my ass last week in my one remaining Dynasty League where I actually am relevant.
See, here's the thing, right? My money league, I was 1 game out of the playoffs. Then in the Yahoo League, I went out in the first round after having a good season. And if it's a constellation, but I lost a pair in the constellation game as well. Behind Devonta Smith, 40 burger. I didn't really take that game seriously, but once I figured I couldn't win, I was like, well, I can't win last, and I can't win first, so I'm just gonna finish in the middle of the pack. And the Giants are playing Indy, so. But yeah, Mook and Germo is the. I thought for sure it'd be the Laura Man-Mans. Like last year, I thought it would be the Ref Man-Mans. But both years, the favorite came toppling down.
Hey, now if one person from our group wins it back-to-back years, that's a win.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Considering we're the ones who run a fucking football podcast.
I was gonna say, I feel like, we put in the time and effort, so I would like to see Mook win it. I don't know how I feel about Mook hoisting a bucket of KFC in one hand and the belt in the other, but we'll
my god, that actually needs to happen if he wins.
Yeah, anyways, I guess I'm ready to jump into the games when y'all are.
I'm ready.
Well, Mook, we're talking about Dallas right off the bat. The last Thursday nighter of the year is Dallas goes to Tennessee.
With no
Dallas
Derrick Henry.
is 6-point favorites. No King Henry. What's happening?
I think Dallas easily wins this game. I don't think Tennessee's a good team, even though they got something to play for. I just don't think they'll beat my boys. I got 14 on Dallas. I think I don't know. Tennessee's just kind of terrible, and they have been lately. And my team, well, it ain't kind of, it ain't bad. So
I know
think we'll just
Pollard was questionable.
Who?
Pollard, but I mean that
Well,
probably
I'll
would
say
change a
Pollard,
whole
no
lot.
Pollard. Pollard, no Pollard. I put 13 on the Cowboys. Yeah, Tennessee's kind of fallen into a pit and they can't get up. I will say for fantasy purposes, if you were feeling risky and needed a back, Henry's backup probably wouldn't be bad. They're not gonna want to throw the ball with Malik Willis. They're gonna want to stick on the ground if they can. Yeah, this feels like the makings of just a get right game for Dallas. They are going to Tennessee. They're coming off the big win at Philly. But I feel like this is going to be a sure up test for the defense, who has looked vulnerable the last few weeks. Like I said, I think Malik Willis still needs a little bit of work. So I feel like the passing game ain't going to be there. I also don't think the rookie for Tennessee isn't playing right now either, is he?
Burks? No, I don't think so.
Tennessee looks beat up. It looks like a team that's ready for the offseason. They've dropped. They were 7-3 and now they're 7-8. Yeah, they've dropped 5 straight. Season's kind of gotten out of grasp. So 13 on Dallas.
How much do you put on it, Luke?
14.
Alright, well,
Go ahead.
I mean, there's no Henry. That's their team. I put 50 on Dallas.
I was going to say, well, what a weird coincidence, because I, too, put 13 on Dallas, and that was before I knew that they didn't have Derrick Henry. So,
Hey, same here.
What? I am going to move that up to my 14 slot now, because I don't like my 14 game.
I like my 13, 14, 15, and 16, so that's the main reason. But yeah, I put 13 on it thinking Henry was going to play as well.
There's probably going to be some slots being moved. I kind of bullshitted my...
Yeah, maybe some in the middle when we get to talking about them, y'all might sway me on, but my high ones and my low ones are good. Speaking of shit shows, the first game on the Sunday docket is Arizona going to Atlanta. What's happening?
Oh my god, just when you think it can't get any worse. Let me tell you, I had to look at the most horrendous report ever.
I seen the Marquise Brown thing you posted.
Yes. So we're already losing bad this year. We're already bad. Marquise Brown deals with the injury, shows up late to a team meeting, or whatever, and Cliff Kingsbury decides, you know what? You're not starting, and we're taking your playing time away.
Is it going to the door?
It went to the Dorshinator, which I don't mind. I like the Dorshinator. But this isn't college football. This is not college. You can buy them. You can do something else to punish them. We're in a shit stage of our lives. Just let the man play fucking football. Like, give the fans something to watch. This is the final straw on Kingsbury for me. This was the dumbest shit that I had to read today. And holy hell. It just proves that he's not fit to be an NFL coach. Anyway, I put one on the Cardinals.
Is Colt McCoy playing?
Yeah, Colt McCoy's coming back. D-Hop had probably one of the most frustrating games of their lives. I think D-Hop's going to have a monstrous game this week, and that's how they're going to win. But that's it.
Well, on that note, I had 2 on Atlanta with Colt McCoy playing. I'll put 2 on Arizona. The Ritter experiment is what it is.
He's coming back.
Yeah, either way, I have 2 on this game. It's a coin toss. Both these teams are bad. So I feel like both these teams just want to get to the off season.
I do.
I looked at this game and I said, oh god, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And the only reason it has 2 is because, I'm a homer and my 1 point went somewhere else. So 2 on the Cards.
Wait, Kuhn, what'd you put on this?
1
on the Cards.
Luke, what'd you put on this?
I haven't said yet, but I went kind of highish.
How do you go high on?
Why would you go high on this game?
I might be moving some confidence around. Well, I wouldn't say high. I put 8 on this. I put 8 on Atlanta.
That's high for this game.
I mean, look, you got Here's the thing. I didn't think Sorensen looked bad, but I do feel like Colt McCoy is at least competent. And why I don't know what Desmond Ritter is, which is,
Well,
why I'm willing to side with Colt McCoy if it's going to come down to Colt McCoy and
D-Hop
Desmond
had
Ritter.
14 targets and only 1 catch last week to give you an idea of how bad the pass game was.
Well, Dortch had 100 yards. I feel like he was 90% of the passing game.
I would agree if there was 14 targets that flew to D-Hop and only one of them got caught.
Every time Sorensen was in trouble, he just looked for D-Hop, even if he was triple covered.
That's probably why. Oh, man. But I like Sorley. He's a back. He's a third-string quarterback.
Yeah.
This is what we expect.
He did what he kept Arizona in as good of that game as they could have been in. What he had.
A lot of rearranging. This is now my 5 confident point game on the Falcons.
So what did you have on it before?
Don't worry about that.
No, what did you have on it, Adrian?
It definitely wasn't double digits.
Oh my god, you put double... No, you should do it back in double digits, Adrian.
It definitely was not double digits. Let's just say that.
I'm glad that you have that much faith in Desmond Ritter. Put 16 on this game.
It definitely was not Julio Jones's number.
Pluto does say trust in the D-Hop.
But the more I looked at the game, the more I was like, yeah, I'm going to go lower. So I originally had it high at the start of the day, too.
I did not. I had the opposite reaction. I was like, this is going to be a 1-point game, and that's not changing.
The only difference is when Coon told me Colt McCoy's top, and I switched from Atlanta to Arizona. I looked at this game, and I said, oh, God. While we're here, we can give a round of applause to Mr. J.J. Watt announcing his retirement after the season.
Bad day.
Heck of a career, J.J. He was a monster last Sunday.
God, J.J. Watt's such a fucking treasure at press conferences, too.
The man is witty. Does everybody win on this game?
Yeah.
Alright, the next game on the...
Mm-hmm.
I think he said 8 on Atlanta.
Yeah.
The next game on the docket is Chicago going to Detroit.
Guys, it's time to bear down! I got 5 on Chicago in Justin's field. Let's go. Bear down.
I have 8 on Detroit. I don't like it. This was one of those that I was like, that's how the confidence fell. After Detroit hurt me last week, I really don't want to take them, but this is 2 teams that put up points, but Chicago puts up points and don't win games. Detroit's still playing for something at least. So, I'm going to give the Motor City Dans one more. I'd love to see Dan Campbell make the playoffs, so, I think really the best case scenario for this game would be we get Detroit and Green Bay, and that would require Cleveland winning, which I don't have, but... Which, I don't know if Washington we'll get there later, but I don't know if they're starting Wentz again or not. I know he came in last week. But I got 8 on Detroit, still fine for a playoff spot. I think Chicago's fun, but they're another team I kind of think is just looking to improve in the offseason. So 8 on the Motor City ankle biters.
Well, we were pretty close, Kai. I got 9 on the Detroit Lions and the I thought it was the kneecap biters.
The kneecap biters, yes, I got it wrong.
And the kneecap biters.
Look, I'll say this, Asian. Originally, I had like 10 through 7 left, and I said after last week, I'm not putting double digits on Detroit again.
I got 12 on the Lions.
Oh, God. How many times do I have to teach you this lesson, old man?
I mean, I've been with them 8/10 of the season, and it hurt for a good majority of it.
You've been with the Raiders 8/10 of the season too, and you see where that ended up.
I don't want to talk about the Raiders. I'm talking about the Lions.
Yeah, I'm surprised you still want to talk about Lions.
I just want them to go to the playoffs. And come on. This could be a chance for them to go. realistically, they're not a bad team, but sometimes
No, they are.
they just go out and you're like, what? But I'm taking the Lions with 12.
Fair enough.
I just can't wait to see Justin Fields get so many points for fantasy this week.
Yeah, I think Fields will have a good game. Oh, I think this will be like a 35-32 game. I just hope it's Detroit at the end. Not surprised if it's Chicago. The next game on the docket is Denver. Let's ride. Going to Kansas City. I got 15 on the Chiefs. I just cannot. You know, since Mahomes has got to Kansas City, Denver has never beat the Chiefs. He's like 11-0 against them.
Who the hell did you put 16 on?
We'll get there. All in good time.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Yeah, 15 on Kansas City. I mean, they're just... Denver's a shit show. They fired their coach. They yell at each other on the sidelines.
Sounds
It's
familiar.
a miserable season. So, I just don't see the Chiefs losing.
I got 16 on the Chiefs. There's not much to say about Denver. I mean, they need to go GG next.
Let me paint you a picture here.
Uh-huh.
Denver, after firing their head coach, is going to come out fired up and ready to play. After that embarrassment, fighting on the sideline, they're going to come out. They're going to be ready to play. They're going to have the best offensive performance of their life, and they're going to score 13 points at half.
I was going to say 17 points. That's crazy.
On their ass. I got 16 on the Chiefs.
I was going to say, best performance offensively, 17 points.
Didn't you see last week the spaceship took off with Baker Mayfield because he was too good?
Gross.
Yeah, they also had Patrick roasting Russ as well, like from SpongeBob.
What did you put on this game, Mook?
I'm gonna play it safe and put 15 on the Chiefs, but I do think this is a trap game because usually when head coaches get fired for whatever reason, the team automatically wins the next game. It's not 100.
Have you seen how Russ has played this year?
Look, the only evidence you got is Russ's best game of the season was last time he played the Chiefs. But he didn't start doing that till they were down 24-0.
I'm just saying, I'm gonna go 15 on the Chiefs, but I think this is a trap game. But I just want to play it safe.
Take a guess what the line on this game is. It's not as high as you would think.
Is it double digits?
Yes.
13.
No.
17.
I was set. What'd you say, Kuhn?
17.
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say 17, but you said it wasn't as high. 14?
No, Asian was the closest. It's 10 on the dot.
Ew.
I'm
That's
just
like-
throwing it out there.
That's like the max points Denver can put up.
Well, here's the thing. KC normally wins. They normally don't cover big, but take with that what you will. Anyways, the next game on this docket, an interesting one because it's Miami going to New England.
Teddy B starting.
Teddy
the
B?
concussion. Well, even with Tua starting, I had put 7 on New England. I feel like Teddy B may actually help this team at this point. I like Tua. Tua has looked awful the last 3 weeks, though. I just thought that the Bill Belichick defense would take this one over. I mean, New England was 2 very uncommon New England losses. You had the pitch play, whatever the hell that was. Then you had a Ramondre Stevenson fumble on the 10. They really need this. Well, both these teams need this game, but yeah, Tua re-entered concussion protocol, which is he might be shut down for the season, especially if Miami loses. Because that's 3 in a year, isn't it?
I believe so.
It depends on which doctor you ask.
True.
Rough year for Tua. We hope he gets better. But yeah, 3 straight interceptions on 3 straight drives in that game last week. This just feels like an offense that's all out of sorts. I mean, Tyreek's gonna get his, but I got 7 on the Patriots. This This feels like a game where New England's defense is gonna. It feels like Miami's offense has got kind of picked out, and whenever Teddy B and the other guys started, they went like 1-4. So I'll take my chances and take 7 on the Pats.
I put 6 on my boy Teddy Bizzle. He's a god. That's all there is to it.
Enough said. Kuhn is preaching. I put 11. Our boy Teddy B.
11?
Yeah, I think that's fell.
I mean, I know Mac Jones's butt cheeks, but
I don't know why Bailey Zappi's not starting.
Well, Kai, you could get up another game and some more points because I'm going to lean for the Dolphins.
like I respect that. Like I said, a lot of these mid-confidence games, I'm not too great on, but we're gonna ride them. You may end up catching up too. That could always happen. Anyways, going down our docket, we got the Fighting Jeff Saturdays going to the New York Giants. I put 11 on the Giants. I mean, it's just a well-coached team. They are practically still down to practice squad guys. They stayed competitive with a very good Minnesota team that took a 61-yard field goal to win that game. I just feel like the Giants are very competitive, and I feel like Indy is another team that I'm ready to see what they do in the offseason, because right now they just look like they're a mess. So 11 on the G-Men.
That's a weird coincidence because I got 11 on the G-Men too. I mean, I'm not a big believer in Jeff Saturday. He had the one good showing, and I don't even know if it was him. So
No, it was the fact they were playing the Raiders.
The head coach theory.
Well, Luke, what has he done since that Raider game, Luke?
He was in a couple close ones, but that's it.
Hey, what he's done doesn't matter because he won the first one.
Yeah.
And that was, like I said, after a head coach gets fired, that team seems to win. But with that being said, that's not that game. We're here now. I put 13 on the Giants. The Giants, I think, are a lot better than the Colts. I think the Colts are a terrible team, and that's all I have to say.
I put 8 on the Giants. Yeah, the Colts are pretty bad. I do want to see a second year from Saturday, just to see kind of how the team works when he actually gets to put it together. Because he was thrust into a shitty situation, so we'll see. It just depends what we do.
I will say I'd like to see Nick Foles do good.
I would love to see my boy Big Nick pop off.
I just think Indy's a mess. It's not an indictment on him that Indy's a mess.
Yeah, no, Nick Foles is definitely not the problem. He would be a solution. Yes,
honestly, it might be the best quarterback they've had there all season. Oh man, this next game might hurt me. New Orleans going to Philadelphia. I put 1 on the Saints. That's it.
Alright, I'll keep it short and sweet too. I put 14 on the Eagles, and my boy Minshew Mania, and it hurt the dark horse MVP candidate.
They have said Minshew's playing, right?
I don't know. That's why I said both of them, because I didn't care who it was. They were game 14.
Look, I'm hoping for the upset of the season. Praying for it.
I got 4 on the Saints.
oh god, Mook.
I just want,
4 on the Saints? What's your 1-point game?
we'll get to it.
Maybe.
His 1-point game's actually probably Cincy Buffalo.
We'll get to it.
Oh my god. You want to add more to that, or you just 4 on the Saints?
Just 4 on the Saints.
Right,
Oh, yeah. I said I wanted the double gut punch to Philly.
I understand your wants and needs. I'm interested to hear on the teams that you're less confident in than New Orleans.
We'll get to him.
Alright, well, Asian.
Yeah, I put 10 on the Eagles. I'm not gonna go that high, but I put 10 on the Eagles, double digits still.
I do not blame you. It's a game that they should win. I'm just, as the Saints fan here, I gotta at least keep the hope, even if it's just me
Actually,
saying one
I'm
play.
gonna switch this game. I'm putting 12 on this game.
And that's a fair analysis, brother. Then on the other side of the NFC bracket, we got the Carolina Panthers going to Tampa Bay. I put 3 on Carolina. Tampa looks shaky. I mean, I don't feel trust in either of these teams, but Carolina's bound determined they're going to run the ball with Chuba Hubbard and Deonta Foreman, and I forgot the third person's name.
Blackshear, I think it is.
Yeah, that guy. And Darnold's been a fair distributor. He hadn't been making a lot of big mistakes. I feel like out of the whole division, Carolina's honestly been playing the most consistent. They've won like 4 or 5 or something. And honestly, if they manage to win this game, there's a good chance they're going to win the division and be the one to, take the head off the king, as in Tom Brady. But I could see this game going either way. It wouldn't surprise me if Tampa... Every time I've thought Tampa's going to light a fire under their butt, they just don't. So why should I expect any different this week? I think this is going to be a very low-scoring game, and Carolina is just going to try to run the ball, get out of there with the dub. So 3 on the Panthers.
I put 2 on the Panthers. I think they're going to be the people who come out of that division into the playoffs. Buccaneers have had a really shitty performance against the Cardinals, who are one of the shittiest teams in football. Plus this, I don't know, the Buccaneers, I haven't felt good about picking them ever this year. And I think that there's some value to that because they aren't living up to expectations. So I put 2 on the Panthers. I've seen them be effective with their run game, and I know what they're going to do, and they can win games that way. So
the one time I felt good about Tampa was when they played Brownstown. Remember my chest out how I told y'all this is going to be their best game of the season, and they lost. And I was like, well, I'm off the Tampa train.
That was interesting, because I got that game right.
Yeah, you did. You did get that game right.
Well, with that being said, I put 6 on the Panthers. Tampa, to me, is just not a very good team. And I do think this will be a close game, and I think the Panthers will squeak by with the win. And it would make for great television. Not the game itself, just, the race.
Give me a sec.
he's a debate how he wants to switch to Tampa now.
That's exactly what I'm debating right now.
Either that or he just filled his confidence in it. It was way too high.
Well, it's still way too high. I don't like it. It is 6 on the Panthers. But I'm just debating. I'm going to stick with the Panthers as of now.
On one side there's the Panthers, but the other side it's Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Great minds think alike.
Unfortunately, Tom Brady is not enough to make me want to pick a team anymore.
I will say this, right? I do think Brady plays next year, and I think he goes to another team, so...
I think I will be picking against that team.
Well, Brady's numbers are still fine. I think, if you look at it, the options that I see, the Raiders...
I will definitely pick against that team.
The Raiders, the Jets... I mean, those are teams that are got weapons and are ready to win now. A lot of people say San Fran, but I don't know if San Fran would take Brady.
I can see San Fran take Brady because
they
don't risk. He's the perfect quarterback for them because he's a really accurate quarterback who throws the ball amazingly, but they're not going to need him to do it very often.
That one makes the most sense for him to go to San Fran for a year. The thing is, I have to see how they do in the playoffs first. Because let's say Brock Purdy goes on this run and wins a Super Bowl, then why would you bench the guy? You know?
You don't think he goes back to New England?
No.
I don't think New England has weapons there that he likes.
I just don't think.
And I don't think New England will go out and get him weapons that he likes. And I don't think now that division's all good, I don't think he wants to play Miami and Tyreek and Buffalo twice a year. I mean, I guess playing Mahomes wouldn't be much better, but in Vegas you would have Devontae Adams and Darren Waller, and I assume you would sign Josh Jacobs back.
I don't think Josh Jacobs is re-signing with the Raiders.
Well, I think if you tell him you're bringing in Tom Brady, he might buy in for a season. They might franchise tag him too. That could always
he is very, like, I saw an interview with him and he's really fed up with the Raiders.
I mean, I'd be fed up too. They had a chance to pick up his 5th year and they didn't do it.
Yeah, he's just
that's
really annoyed with how the team has been performing when he's over here busting his ass off.
And wherever he goes, he's gonna get paid. He's popped off this season.
Oh yeah, he is a franchise back.
Yeah. But yeah, no. I think those are kind of some of the teams that are there. I don't really know of any others on the radar. I don't see him going back to New England though, unless like I just can't see Brady retiring on like while his numbers have been good and he's still like top, like I think he's like 7th in passing, 5th or something like that. While he still has good numbers, I just don't see him leaving at what would be the lowest point of his career. So at least from like a team win record wise. Anyways,
Adrian, what did you pick?
He picked Carolina with 6.
I didn't know if he was still debating.
No, I'm taking Carolina with 6.
Anyways, moving on, we got the Cleveland Browns town going to Washington to play the Manders. I put 10 on the Manders. Yeah, Cleveland's just not a good team. I don't feel good about this 10, but just kind of how confidence landed. I don't know if Wentz is starting or Heineke's starting. I could probably look real quick, but I have 10 on the Manders regardless. I feel like the Manders know what they want to do, and Deshaun Watson has not quite looked like the Browns wanted him to, and
he's really making that money.
What's up?
For Carson Wentz in Week 17.
They're starting him or benching him?
Yeah, no, they're going with Wentz.
I mean, I feel like it's a home game. I feel like they'll get this win. I mean, Cleveland lost to New Orleans, which, you know, everybody's welcome. We took Deshaun Watson out of playoff contention.
I mean, he was out of playoff contention from the very beginning.
we now mathematically took him out, though. But, yeah, I just don't think Cleveland. I just think Cleveland's Cleveland, and the Commanders are actually playing for a playoff spot. Feel like Cleveland gets the win here with maybe an easy win against a backup Cowboys team next week, depending on what happens this week.
I got an eye on the Commanders. I mean, Cleveland's ass. I like Washington, and so I like Washington. And also, I like that Wentz is coming back because I do think Wentz is the better of the two, in my opinion.
I think Wentz takes a lot more chances, but I think he's the better arm talent of the two. And I feel like they rode the Heineke carpet as far as they could until they quit giving them wins. Yeah,
I don't mind them writing that because Wentz went down, Heineke came in and balled out. Like, we'll play him.
He was winning. They kept playing him until they weren't winning.
But I think Wentz is the reason why he was able to go on a playoff run and be pretty successful before injury.
I got 10 on the Commanders. I think the Browns are not really playing for anything because they got eliminated. I kind of think they suck, and Washington does have something to play for. I don't know if I'm as big on Wentz as y'all, but I still got him with 10, because they got something to play for.
I like him more than Heineke.
This isn't a pick for the Commanders, Mook. It's a pick to fucking diss on the Browns.
Yeah, the Browns are ass.
Asian riding the Browns team on his own 2 weeks in a row.
Hell no, I got 10 on. I got 10 on any other
I
team.
forgot you were the Browns last week.
Fuckers, shitters.
Look, it's been. I think I've maybe not rooted the Saints like once all year, so you could not be surprised that I took the Saints. All right. Anyways, we got Jacksonville going to Houston. Oh, Asian, you asked where all my points went. I know Mook's gonna be like, they're cursed. They can't beat the Texans. I'm putting like a low amount of points on the Texans. But I got 16 on Trevor by God Lawrence. Best QB in the NFL the last 6 weeks. They're going to march into Houston. They're going to whip that ass and then go to Tennessee. Give me 16 on the Jags.
Yeah, 16 on the Jags.
Yeah, 16 on the Jags.
Well, I don't know if I can really, beat that defense, and the Jags have looked good, but I'm going with the statistics. They have lost the last 8 or 9 games. The Jags have to the Texans, and I'm gonna ride the hot hand while it's hot, and I'm gonna take the Texans with 5. Don't really know if I wanted to go that high because, Jacksonville has looked like a good team recently, but Houston's gonna find some way to do it.
I'm still interested to see where 3, 2, and 1 are.
We're gonna get there, buddy. All right.
3 on the Jets, 2 on the Steelers, 1 on the Bengals.
Here's the thing: I would trust Cincinnati to win that big game more than I would trust Houston.
So would I.
Yeah.
With that being said, I put 13 on the Jaguars.
Yeah, boy. It's time for some statistics. I put 10 on the Texans, baby! The Jacksonville Jaguars, I've got big on them week after week that they played the fucking Texans. Every time they played the Texans, I go big on them, and I fucking get burnt. I'm not doing it this year. I put 10 on the Texans.
You decided to go big on the Texans?
Yes. I'm counterweighing it.
Fair enough. Look, I'm not worried about this game at all.
You're not going to be worried until you see the Texans winning.
I'm going to cry if Houston wins this game.
They're riding hot off a win against Tennessee.
Yes, the Malik Willises. What's up, Mook?
Said it would make for great television because when Dallas beats the crap out of Tennessee, the Jags can lose to the Texans, and then
they could. You're breaking up badly, Mook.
Sorry.
I was like, they could put Jacksonville, Tennessee in that primetime slot next week. That's not the game I think will end up there. We'll talk about it at the end. I do have a game I think is going to end up there, though. All right. The next game, we got San Francisco going to play Jared Stidham and the Las Vegas Raiders. I got 14 on San Fran. Poor Jared Stidham. He gets to come in against the best, most stacked defense in the league, and I think it's going to be a rough day for the Raiders. They might lose this game like 49-3 or something. 14 on the Niners.
Yeah, the Raiders dog shit. You gross. 12 on the Niners. Like nothing changed.
I got 15 on the Niners.
I got 16 on the Niners.
I don't blame you for putting all your confidence here, Mook. Poor Carr, man, getting benched for Stidham with 2 games left. I see why they're doing it, because I think they're going to try to trade Carr or have to release him. But he's healthy right now, and if he was to get hurt, they would owe him a lot more money. So I see why they're doing it. Real quick, where do y'all think Carr ends up next season? I'm gonna say Indy.
I haven't put much thought into it. That's why I'm
Yeah,
excited.
me.
I'm just curious. I think it's either gonna be Indy or the Jets, personally, but
Tennessee, the Tannehill.
honestly, that wouldn't be a bad one.
I feel like it'd be Indy. It's just such an Indy move.
I just didn't want to say Indy.
Yeah, I didn't want to say Indy, but that's just like that's just the type of move they would make. No, Seattle likes Gino.
I see Seattle sticking with Gino.
I think
know,
in Texas. There you go. There's another one.
You want a wild card one, Commanders. There you go.
That could happen too. They like
A metabolic.
What about your Saints? I mean, you guys don't have a first round pick to draft a quarterback.
I shudder at that thought, Asian. I like Carr. I don't.
I'm just trying to think of NFC teams.
Yeah, I read a report that said the Saints, and I was like, I literally was like, play Jameis, bring Jameis back, please.
I'm just saying, without a first round draft pick, you guys can't draft.
He could go to the Patriots.
Yeah, that is true. I'm interested to see what the Saints do. I hope the first step is firing Dennis Allen, but we'll see. What do you got a team to throw in there, Mook?
I was gonna say the Texans. It'd be funny if you, though.
I was just curious. All right. Anyways, we got the New York Jets going to the Seattle Seahawks. I put 9 on Magic Mike White. I mean, another one that I wish I could have gone lower on, but
9 on this game.
Yeah. I mean, look, I feel better. I'll tell you this: I feel better in the Jets and Mike White at this point than I do Detroit. That's why it's got a point more. Yeah, Seattle just is starting to tailspin ever since it's been uncovered that they somehow managed to lose to the NFC South. I mean, last week they put up one of their most pitiful point margins of the year, only putting up 10 against KC. Feels like the playoffs are right there, but they're just blowing it. I'd love to see Geno get in. I just think Mike White comes back. That Jets defense is good. When either him or Flacco seem to play, it just seems to work out a lot better for him. So Mike White being there, I think they're going to put up enough points to win this game. I got 9 on the Jets. Kuhn, I did want to know, did you happen to see the reaction Chris Streveler got when he got on the field last week?
I did not. I didn't even know he got on the field last week.
So Zach Wilson got booed the whole game. Like, overthrown passes, underthrown. Those fans were booing him. And they had Chris Streveler and gave him like a Taysom Hill package, right?
Mm.
They tried to run him in the first quarter, and he got flagged, so he didn't get out there till the fourth. He comes out in the fourth, runs like a 15-yard pass, the loudest the fans were all night. They were dapping that man up, cheering him.
I fucking love Chris Streveler.
Dude, it was great. He played the rest of the game. In that, like, last 15 minutes, he put up the same stats as Zach Wilson did all night.
Damn.
He let him downfield. The fans were wildly cheering his name.
That's amazing. Good for him.
And he didn't get the score. He ended up 4th down in it on like the 15. So
but
he was almost
at
there.
least he showed signs of life.
Yeah, he gave him a spark, and then like in the press conference, they asked the coach, like, well, you stuck with him. He goes, well, he was providing the spark that Zach wasn't. And but that was the first time that you would have thought this man was John Cena the way he was getting cheered, dude. Like, they were wild for him. It was the most excited the Jets fans were all night after watching Zach Wilson just miserably play. And that being said, him getting benched again, that has to be the end of Zach Wilson in New York. Like, those fans just hate him. But I got 9 on the Jets. I feel like Mike White gets the dub here.
I put 3 on the Jets. I think both these teams are two sides of the same coin, so if you go either way.
Well, if we go down together, baby. I'm going down big. I got 7 on the Jets also. I'm a big fan of the Mike White train too. If it was Zach Wilson starting, I'd go 7 with the Seahawks. But Mike White starting, I'll go 7 on the Jets.
It was Zach Wilson. I might have went double digit Seahawks.
you know, you're not wrong. With that being said, I am also a believer in the Mike of Whites. So I put 3
Motherfucker,
on
why
the
are we
Jets.
all on the jet?
And I just think Seattle's kind of been on a.
I'm moving my 3 to Seattle. I don't want to be on the same train as everyone.
Hey, that's fair. I don't. Seattle is favored by 1 point in this game. I don't know. I like Gino. I'd like to see him win this game so he can get into the playoffs because I feel like that train is set for the Jets. I will say though, if someone gets kicked out, I think every spot's taken but Miami's. It would be a shocking wonder if Miami went from being like, what are they now? If they went from being 8-3 to out of the playoffs, it would be wild.
That would be pretty wild.
All right, so we're moving to Green Bay as the Minnesota Vikings go to Green Bay. Pluto, I hope you're not still in chat, buddy. Because I put 4 on the Packers and Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, the Packers are starting to get hot finally. I don't think they're like a great team, but they've won their last 3 games by making at least 10-point comebacks. There's at least something there. I don't feel good about Christian Watson being out, but it's a division game. They played close at the beginning of the year. Minnesota won in their home. I feel like Green Bay is going to win in their home. But I feel like it's going to create some suspense the last game of the season. I feel like it's going to make Washington where they have to go take care of business at Dallas. Otherwise, the winner of Green Bay Detroit may end up getting the last slot. But I don't know. I got 4 on the Packers. I think they're starting to put things together at the right time, and why I don't think they're a serious team to do anything in the playoffs. Minnesota's 11-0 in one-score games, and I feel like that's going to come to a halt sooner or later. So I got Green Bay taking this one in their home. It just feels like kind of a big game, and Kirk Cousins in big games. Whew.
I mean, you say that, but almost every game has been a big game because it's all been close.
I just don't see the Vikings sweeping the Packers personally.
Well, let me tell you. I do. I put 7 on the Vikings. They've been good this year. I'm giving them their credit when it's due. I think they're going to sweep the Packers this year. And the Green Bay lost probably their only wide receiver weapon with Watson possibly being out. And I don't know. Green Bay, I mean, they've been hot, but I don't think that's a very bright fire.
Pretty sure Alan Laser was their leading receiver last week.
Okay, 1 week, my bad.
I'm just saying.
Watson had fucking
did leave the
3
game.
or 4 weeks where he popped off and carried the team.
I mean, I definitely don't feel good about them missing their main receiver. Like I said, I just don't see it. I could be wrong. I rode the Packers, and for the first time of this year, it didn't bite me in the ass, so we'll see.
Every time I've taken the Packers and believed them has bit me in the ass, so I am going to go with the Vikings with 3 points, Pluto. Boo. My Pluto boo.
All right. So I'm going to paint y'all a picture here.
No.
All right.
Oh, please say you're taking the Vikings, Mook.
So the Vikings, they see the games on earlier today, and they realized, well, they watched it, and they knew that Philly lost, and they still were in contention for the 1 seed. All right, so they knew this coming into the game, so they're all fired up, and they're going to get it done and win another close one and bring their close game record up another score. And I got 7 on the Vikings because they just get it done.
No lie, I thought whenever Mook said, "Let me tell you a story," I thought he was jumping on this Packer train. I was like, "No, Mook, let me ride this train alone." The original Sunday Nighter that got flexed out, the Los Angeles Baker Mayfield's going to play the Los Angeles Justin Herberts. I actually think this game will be closer. I got 12 on the Rams or the Chargers just because that's how confidence fell. There wasn't a whole lot of games that I have as locks. I think the Chargers are a better team than the Rams. That being said, I do think Baker's going to have a good game as well as Herbert. Got the final 30-24 Chargers.
Shit, this is
I got 13 on the Chargers. I mean, this is a prove-it game for Baker. He's beaten only bad teams. This is a good defense, a good offense. This is the game where if he comes out and performs, then you have to be like, okay, he's actually good at his job. With that said, I'm not a Baker believer. I can't be. It's not in my DNA. I put 13 on the Chargers, and my boy Herbert is there, Eckler is there. That defense the Chargers have is one of the best defenses in the league right now, I believe. I don't know. I don't see this game being too close. I put the score 30-13.
Like I said, I think my boy Baker, by God, Mayfield plays good. I just think that the Chargers are on a whole nother level than this very mid-Rams team.
Not even mid.
Well, after that big Baker performance last week, I think the Baker hype train falls apart once again in the typical Baker Mayfield cycle. I got 8 on the Chargers with the score 27-13.
Hey, we both put 13 on the Rams. Yeah, that too. I'm just like, I've seen this. I've seen this movie before. I don't want to buy tickets again. It ends badly.
I can't be a supporter of Baker. I went with 9 with the Chargers. My score is 18 Rams, 25 Chargers. I'm just
such a weird freaking score.
That is a weird score.
This game would have a weird score, so that's why I did it.
I will say it's kind of interesting because the Chargers defense is starting to play good. Herbert actually hasn't thrown a TD the last 2 weeks.
He needs to throw them when you got Austin Eckler run them in.
Yeah, exactly.
Justin Cutler.
Don't disrespect.
Don't compare him to Jay Cutler.
You need to relax on that, buddy.
Just saying.
It's questionable.
But yeah, we had to predict that game because it was originally the Sunday night report. It got flexed out. Asian, it got flexed out for Pittsburgh at Baltimore. What's happening, my dude?
Did you see the Pat McAfee show where a fan was in the tunnel? It was like halftime and Tomlin was going in, and he was like, "Coach T, give him hell." And Tomlin looked at him and he goes, "Shut up, I'm working here."
No, but that's amazing.
And McAfee was like, we requested Tomlin, but he said it's a Monday of a Baltimore week. He's busy. So
yeah, I heard that.
He basically told us to shut up. He's busy too. I'm taking Pittsburgh with 1. I mean, it's just going to be Pittsburgh's way to, I guess, win out and keep Tomlin's 500 streak alive.
Go ahead, Coot.
I'm at 4 on the Steelers. The Ravens are still what I said they were when I picked Atlanta. Atlanta was just worse, sadly. They're still a team that doesn't have an easy time putting up points. They're always slugging games out. It's always slow. The Steelers play slow football all the time. They're experts at it this year. They probably they should win this. And yeah, Lamar, no Lamar, I don't care. The Steelers are better in division games, I feel like, also. I think Tomlin just has the numbers of everybody in that division the most of the time, and yeah, put 4 on the Steelers.
I got 6 on the Steelers. Look, I'm not the one that makes the rules, and Asian don't want to hear this, but Tomlin's gonna take this team kicking, screaming, and crying to the playoffs somehow. Like, it's just going to happen. It's just a thing that happens. Baltimore's offense hasn't been clicking. Neither is I think there's going to be an old classic Pittsburgh-Baltimore defensive showdown on Sunday night. Lamar, no Lamar. I am getting concerned because it's been like a month since Lamar's played. But even if he comes back, who's going to say that he's just going to come back and pop off after not playing football for a week? So I got 6 on Pittsburgh and Tomlin kicking, screaming, crying, taking this team to the fucking playoffs somehow.
That's what we all want to see.
Yeah, Pittsburgh and
In playoff.
Pittsburgh and it would either be Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, or Pittsburgh,
KC.
AC in the first
Oh, that'd
round.
be a beautiful sight.
Wasn't it Pittsburgh, KC last year?
Yeah.
I don't know if it was last year or it was 2 years ago, but
2
yeah.
years ago, yeah. What do you got on this game, Mookie?
I'll just keep it short and say got 2 on the Steelers.
So let me ask that you're picking the Steelers. If Lamar comes back, are you playing him in fantasy? Or are you sticking with Brock Purdy playing the Rams?
Or are you gonna go
The
out and
Raiders?
get Mike White?
I mean, Seattle's defense is dookie. I'll say this as a Garrett Wilson owner. Every time Mike White played, I got a big old smile when Wilson had that 30 burger.
We will find out later. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm still deciding.
Fair enough. And then, what could be the game of the year, y'all? This decides a lot of seedings. If Buffalo wins, they more than likely are going to get the 1 seed. Cincinnati wins, they're still alive for the 1 seed. But if they lose, they could fall all the way to the wild card. We got Buffalo going to Cincinnati. I got 5 on the Bengals. Buffalo's actually the favorite going into Cincinnati, which is wild to me. They're a 1.5 favorite. It's just wild because Cincinnati's won 7 straight. They're at home. Joe Burrow has been getting it done. They have played a good half the last 2 games, haven't put the full thing together. But it's not like Buffalo's been world beaters either. Josh Allen's actually tied for the league in interceptions, so...
Well, when they don't run the ball ever.
Yeah, like I said, I feel like this is going to be a powerhouse between 2 teams. But I got Cincinnati. It's in their house, I feel like that goes a long way. So I got Cincy 34-31 Bungles.
I got 11 on the Bills. I mean, I've been picking high on the Bills all year, and it's paid off almost all year, so I'm not going to stop. And I don't know. Anytime I ever feel like the Bengals get something, or anytime it feels like they're picking up steam, they just lose it. But they've been really impressive. So,
How do you lose steam when you've won 7 straight?
no, I mean in general, usually that's what happens. So I think it's a long time coming, kind of thing. But this is gonna be a fun game, no matter what. Probably a close one. Yeah. But I went high on the Bills because the Bills haven't let me down, so.
Well, if you think this is the time of year where Cincinnati caught fire and made the Super Bowl run last year.
And lost still.
I'm just saying, it's definitely going to be a good one. We don't really get a game this late in the season that normally has this much implications on the AFC.
We didn't get a game this good in the season in general. In primetime? Did we get a primetime game that looked this good?
I would have to look.
I don't think we did, but yeah, you guys can go.
I mean, in primetime, because I want to say the best game we got all year was the Vikings-Bills game, but...
The game was pretty crazy.
Well, I've usually been with Kuhn and taking the Bills all year. It was kind of my thing at first. But these games are getting tight. These records are getting tight. And I'm going to have to start picking more logically. And so I put 2 on the freaking Bengals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you say that again, Aiden.
I put 2 on the freaking Bengals.
Yeah. You ready to lose those 2 points?
Yeah, that's just 2 points. I put the score 30-27.
Oh, yeah, my score is 27-23.
Actually, I want to put it 31. Last minute game winning touchdown.
I took the Bengals with 1. I mean, it can go either way. I think both teams are super hot right now. And the Bengals are just finding ways to get it done. They may not play all 4 quarters, but they're not looking terrible. So my score is 24-27 Bengals.
That's 1 more point difference than mine. And on the opposite teams.
My most this week is Cincy. My least is Indy.
My most points this week is Houston. My least is Denver.
My most is Jacksonville. My least is Baltimore.
My most is San Fran, and my least is Cleveland.
Wow, we're all over the place.
I felt like I'd make it fun this week because I feel like if Pittsburgh's winning that game, then it's gonna be a very low score. As far as the best primetime games I've seen this year, Kuhn, I'm looking through them. The Bengals-Ravens one was pretty good that we got for the Sunday nighter. And the Raiders-Chiefs that Monday night was actually Raiders-Chiefs was a good one.
The Raiders and good don't go together.
That was the 30-29 game that actually ended up pretty good. The only other one that I seen as far as like for actual primetime games was the second time we got the Chargers-Chiefs game on Sunday night.
Exactly.
I'm not counting the Thursday nighters in this.
Exactly. So they don't give us good primetime games.
I mean, on paper, some of these should have been good.
Yes, some of them did disappoint because of how teams performed, but they can flex
like anytime we got
typically.
the Rams. Well, they don't start flexing them till the second half of the season until like teams start getting actually taken out of contention.
But yeah, that should be a fun game.
And like, there's some like Eagles Cowboys, like Dak didn't play the first game, so it's like yeah, I'm looking. There was a lot of the Titans Chiefs one was good, but I feel like you never actually, even in overtime, you never bought Tennessee was winning that game. The Chargers Niner one was okay. There's a lot of okay. I am curious, right? Before we call it, what game do y'all think gets flexed into the primetime slot to be the last game of the regular season?
I don't know what the games are for next week.
It's all division games. If I had to guess, I'm going to say it's Baltimore at Cincy, but that could change depending on records if that's actually for the division or not. Because I'm looking here and I'm like, what could actually be worth something? New England Buffalo could, but I don't think New England will be alive by that point. Baltimore Cincy play. Detroit Green. They could do Detroit Green Bay depending on what the Commanders do. Because that could be. The Chargers play the Broncos.
Okay, now don't do that.
I mean, it's going to be a game that has stakes in it somehow. It could be Jacksonville, Tennessee if the South didn't decide.
Oh yeah, it'll be Jacksonville, Tennessee after Houston whoops that Jacksonville ass.
But it could be Green Bay, Detroit for a spot. Like I said, I think if Baltimore, Cincinnati, if the AFC North is still up for grabs, I think that'll for sure be the game. But
it'll be the battle of the two teams who lose to the Texans.
It could always be New York, Miami if that ends up being for one. God help us if they actually put Carolina, New Orleans there. They technically could, but it's kind of a weird caveat because that all depends on what happens with Tampa. So I think we're gonna dodge the bullet on that one. They could always decide to put Philly, New York if Philly lost to New Orleans this week and we're still playing for the 1 seed. Only issue is New York might be locked in. Yeah, those seem like they are about the games though, and Jacksonville, Tennessee. Seems like it's gonna be one of those couple. I was just curious if y'all thought any of those would be over the others.
Yeah, Jacksonville and the Titans. Jacksonville's about to take an L, and then it's about the two teams who lose to the Texans.
I don't think they're taking that L, but we'll see.
Listen,
like I
they're
said,
cursed.
I think it'll be Baltimore, Cincy, but Asian Mook, y'all have a lead for what y'all think will be the primetime game next week.
Oh, Kuhn already had my answer as well.
You on the same boat with them, Asian?
I don't really know or care. I haven't really looked into it that much.
I was just curious because they always flex one, and I remember one year they flexed like it was an AFC team. It was like the Ravens and someone. I think it was like Ravens and Jets, and they played and then played the next week in the playoffs again. I will say it's weird that our tiebreakers next week we're going to be predicting Tampa and Atlanta and New England and Buffalo. But yeah, that's all I really got.
Well, I can't wait to see the Texans etch out another W this week.
Ain't happening.
I mean, I'm sorry, Jacksonville is cursed.
Big curse these,
They're
buddy.
a rookie
I
team.
don't make the rules.
Look,
They're a
Jacksonville.
rookie team. It makes sense for them to be cursed.
True.
Jacksonville has as much chance of losing as you going perfect last week.
I was pretty damn close, actually, for a while. Those are pretty damn good odds, actually, still.
You didn't go perfect though.
Yeah, but they're still pretty good odds that I was close enough, you know.
Well, you didn't even win first.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. I was close enough. You're giving me better odds than what the Texans typically would have.
I mean, I guess I can't argue with that.
Last week, and you were in
Yeah.
last.
Hmm?
So I'm looking at the scores of last week, and you
Yeah,
were
that's
in
still
last.
better odds than what the Texans typically would have. I what's thought to understand here. You know what? I took the Texans last week, and they won last week also, so
I mean,
they're the hottest team in the NFL, right?
I mean, it is true. Me and Kuhn did take Houston.
I put high points on them too. I think I put 9.
You put 9 on them. Yeah, I put 6 on them. I didn't even really rearrange confidence, though. I just took the 6 that were on Tennessee and moved them to Houston.
But yeah,
I was a believer in Derrick Henry, so I went with 1 with Tennessee. Not feeling
But
good about it.
pretty sure at the time that happened, Kuhn went, if you're putting 1, you might as well just take the Texans, Mook.
I did.
Oh, did. But I had a big Derrick Henry day. I mean, I didn't bet big on it because I knew it was a possibility, a strong possibility. Tennessee has kind of.
Yeah, but at that point, you're just going one way or another, so it's like, may as well go with the underdog if you're only putting 1 in.
But
I figured it'd be a big Derrick Henry day.
I'm saying you didn't put points like it was going to be a big Derrick Henry day.
he wasn't sure about it. Oh man. Alright, well, y'all ready for some Overwatch?
Did you say? Yeah, I'm down.
Gonna be honest, not really. I mean, I'll play, but
That's the attitude I want. in
Yeah.
competitive.
I'm just fucking tired. I need to do my winter challenges.
But yeah, that's podcast, everyone. Bye, bitches.
Thank y'all for hanging out. I appreciate it.
But